Cool. Looks like we got enough here to go ahead and get started. So before I do get started, let me at least explain what I'm doing here. So this is my Plus R replay. So Plus R replay is when I do commentary on some of our tournaments that we've already had. If we actually streamed our tournaments every single time, we wouldn't really have stream time and also be really late. So instead what I do is I do a local recording of all of our tournaments, and then we do, we kind of just put it up here. You guys can go on commentary or chat and stuff like that. You'll see all of this on YouTube. It's gonna be great. We get an actual opportunity to show our Plus R tournaments every single week when we run these. So that's mainly it. Also, we can make sure we get as much footage out there as possible with commentary. Gives me a chance to kind of brush up on my commentary too while we're at it. So other than that, you know, it's important for you to kind of, if you want, you can join the Discord, share this around, that kind of thing. You know, a lot of people when they're trying to get into this game, they consider it a tough game to play. It's hard to play, but you know what? If you get into it in steps, it'll be really rewarding for you. There's a lot of people who are in our Discord who want to help you get better at the game. We love this game. We want to just do as much as we can to help other players. Like everything, you take it in steps, you take it in strides. You'll be good at it. Don't overload yourself with information, right? You don't read a textbook from front to back before you start learning what the stuff is in there. So we got a ton of resources, a wiki. We share videos. We do streams like this. Tons of resources in there, and we also have online and locals for people across in North America. We get all that kind of stuff ready. If you want to help my stream, you can do so by getting me donations either through clips or sorry, through bits or through donations or subs. All of that's appreciated, not necessary, but appreciated. I am trying to get new equipment. I need a new camera. Not great. I just want an upgraded camera. But you know, that's neither here nor there. What's important is if you make clips. If you can get me clips of this stuff here, that's what's going to help everything out most. It's going to help the community out most. I'll try and do a clip show. I'm still working on the clip show for October. We'll get all that kind of stuff. So other than that, you know, share around the Discord, all that kind of stuff. You can do ! Discord in the chat. You can get a Discord link from that. So without further ado, let's go ahead and rock on this here. We've got starting off our tournament here. Where is this? There we go. So this is our we're going to be doing our beginners tournament today. So you might be thinking, oh, SoCal, why would SoCal have a beginners tournament? Well, there's like, this is a tournament where we're going to have 8 people, and we banned a ton of people from entering. And a lot of these players, they wouldn't have entered if we didn't do something like this. It gives them an opportunity to kind of get into the game, you know? So it really is a good opportunity. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to kind of explain some stuff about their characters, maybe some better routes and things like that as things continue on. And this could be a really great learning experience, not just for them, but maybe for you guys too if you're looking for any of these characters too. So before I start, there's one tradition I've been doing almost every time. It's a top 8 tradition. But like I said, I do it. We're in top 8 right now. We had 8 players. So what I do is I get an energy drink. You know, I'm here talking alone usually for like 3 hours, and eventually I run out of things to say. I lose my energy, and just having an energy drink's really helpful. So today we've got Kiwi Strawberry Rockstar. If you can see that, this is part of their X-Durance line. I have no clue what that means. I don't care. Oh, that tastes really good. I usually don't like Rockstar that much, but I've been getting Rockstar more lately because they're just on sale where I go. This one has 300 milligrams of caffeine and electrolytes, BCAA, vitamins, all that kind of stuff. All I care about is if it keeps me awake and gives me enough energy to do what I need to do. Extra bad? It actually does taste good, this Kiwi Strawberry. One thing I had recently when I was doing the stream with Wing Zero, I had a cotton candy flavored Rockstar, and it was something. It was something. Honestly, it's better than regular Rockstar, and the taste is so weird that it like it completely got rid of the energy drink taste. I drank the whole can, so I have had one where I couldn't finish it. It was just so bad. It was a hide. That's what it was. Hide power potion. It was disgusting. I thought maybe like it was like one of those hemp energy drinks that I was accidentally drinking or something like that. It tasted so bad. So, but yeah, so let's go ahead and get started here. Before I show this, let's show the bracket, right? You guys need to see the bracket. Let's see here. All right, so we have Windyman. Windyman's a regular. My rule was essentially if you've ever made top 4. If you've ever made top 4 in one of our locals, you were banned from this one. So Windyman made it. We've got CallMeMatt, who's a new Slayer player. It's been playing a lot more lately. Darkly 1000, who's never entered our tournaments before, but he's been kind of like a wallflower at our locals. He plays a little bit of Skullgirls. Just kind of sits there and looks around, but you know, this is his first chance to actually enter a tournament where he probably, you know, that's what this kind of thing's for, right? It's supposed to open people up so they can enter more of these kind of tournaments. We got Shodan. Shodan's a regular Skullgirls player as well. I don't think he's ever entered our +R tournaments. We have Weatherbee. Weatherbee is a regular as well, an ABBA player. Bex. Bex changed their name. They used to be Latency, but they're going by Lex now. Or sorry, Bex now. JMZ. JMZ is an Order Soul player. Mostly Skullgirls, mostly Vampire Savior, that kind of thing. But what's kind of funny is JMZ entered EVO 2017, and he, from what I understand, the story was he got so drunk that he woke up like 3 hours late with a hangover and all that kind of stuff, and he said, no, I'm not entering +R. But Skeletal Minion didn't register online, and they were only taking entrance from registers, so Skeletal Minion took his spot. And so Skeletal Minion won that tournament, but if you go and you look at Smash GG at EVO 2017, it's going to say JMZ won that tournament. So, interesting. We kept joking around. It's like, oh, JMZ shouldn't be allowed. He won EVO. Shouldn't be allowed in this tournament. And we got POS Industries, also another really top Skullgirls player in our locals here. So, now we can get started. Now to kind of explain who these people are. Our first match is going to be, let's see here, Shodan versus Darkly. We'll get this started here. All right. So Shodan's playing Soul. Darkly's playing Justice. You know, Justice is a slow character that doesn't really have any sort of dashing abilities. Has a really strong backdash, but no real forward momentum. And so Justice is kind of harder character to pick up and play, but she's got really nice flowing normal attacks that you can use. One of her biggest strengths is her bomb attacks. So that bomb right there is one you saw there. It's a move where you do the move and then you negative edge it. Negative edge is where you hold the button, and then it keeps going forward until you release the button or until it hits them. So you can create some really nice zoning techniques against your opponent playing as Justice with all those tricks. And you saw there right there 2H, which is Justice's low slash move. Low heavy slash move. That's a really powerful move. Very good anti-air. Didn't work in that time I was showing you there, but Soul, you know, a lot of people when they look at the game and they start trying to get into it, they think of Soul as kind of a they think of Soul as kind of a starter character, right? He's the Ryu. He's got a projectile, he's got a dragon punch, that kind of stuff. And they're not completely wrong. But just because that's how he plays, where he's more Shoto, he still has a lot of non-Shoto stuff as well. Yeah, Juno, this was a beginners tournament over at Salty that we had last weekend. So he has things like Riot Stomp, where he goes like back and then reflects back forward from the walls. He's got Ground Viper or Grand Viper, where he goes really low and hits you for a ton of damage. You got to wiggle the stick a lot when you're doing it. And one of his key damaging features in this game is clean hits. So certain moves give clean hits, which make them really hard to recover from. And once you've mastered clean hits, you can do a lot of damage, but it's a really technical sort of technique from him. If you like a character that that, you know, is able to do a ton of damage with a lot of harsh timing. Most of his good techniques happen from his Dragon Punch. He's got a really strong Dragon Punch. Then Soul might be the character for you. Don't think he's just going to be a typical Shodo, because he has a lot more going for him beyond that. He's got a really good command grab, which you can link more combos and stuff from the command grab as well. Oh, that was nice there. That was his Force Break. Force Breaks in this game are 25% meter specials. Like an EX move kind of thing. You can see here, Shodan's putting him in the corner, just trying to put in some fished moves. He is not too familiar with his combos yet, but you know, everyone has to start somewhere. Just trying to get some good solid hits, and Soul's pretty good at some of those. He's got some strong heavy attacks, I would say. So this is going to be interesting there. So that super, it's not a very high damaging super. It didn't do that much damage, but it does a ton of hits. And in this game, the more hits you do, the more proration you're going to get, like most other fighting games. And when you have that high of proration, you're going to deal less and less damage with each hit. Well, that move does so many hits that it mostly just does 1 damage the whole way through. And in this game, when you have Guts is like a scaling defense. So the less health you have, the more defense you have, essentially. So the health bar that you see up there is more of a logarithmic scale rather than like a linear scale. And so because of that, you're actually dealing, again, your minimum is only 1 damage. So you're actually dealing less and less damage each normal hit that you would be doing. So if your minimum is 1 damage, you're actually dealing a lot more effective damage when they're at low health. So that super is really good at low health. Weatherbee never made top 4. So the point of the bracket is you couldn't have made top 4 at a local. You might see that Windyman's on there too. Windyman's a pretty good player. But yeah, we'll see how they do here. Again, we got Shodan playing Soul. Sorry, it was Justice who won. Darkly. Messed the numbers up here wrong. A lot of people think of Soul as a character you can just pick up and start, but that's not really the case. I've always said, you know, whatever character you like look at them and like them and play the game that way with that character, because you have to put in the long haul with every character, and by the time you've put in enough work to it, you're gonna want to stick with that character. So even if you think like, oh, Eddie looks complicated, I don't know, try him out, make him your starter character, and then eventually you'll kind of warm up more towards him, and then that way you'll already be prepared with Eddie. I had to go by some sort of standard of measurement. I would put Weatherbee in this bracket. No offense to Weatherbee. The joke, though, is that I put JMZ in here, and JMZ won EVO 2017, so... Nice block on the Michael Blade there, trying to punish with a Force Break Fafnir, but it didn't quite work. Justice's Jump D, which is that swipe move. Really powerful move. Justice has really strong normals. There we go. It's 2 points for Darkly. Again, this is the first time Darkly's ever entered any of our tournaments, so we weren't sure what kind of abilities he would have. Let's go back to the brackets here. So you'll see this. We had Darkly and Shodan. Darkly ends up winning against Shodan 2-0. Let me pull up the next match here. Alright, up next we're going to have Windyman versus CallMeMatt. Let's go ahead and pull this up here. Windyman is a Resident May player. Been climbing up the ranks. Really strong CVS2 player. So if you're into CVS2, he's actually a mod on the CVS2 Discord. Check that out. They're starting their online tournaments back up. If you're interested in playing that game online. And also they have weekly meetups here in SoCal too, but they also do some more organization beyond that as well. Nice cross up there. So May, for those of you who might be interested in learning May, she has a lot of charge moves. So that's kind of a thing you have to learn with for her. She's also got weird combos to deal against her. So if you've got somebody who doesn't really know how to fight you with those combos, or they might have to like reduce their combos against you, it's kind of interesting how that aspect works. She has a lot of moves that punish really hard. She's got very good dizzy moves. What you just saw there was called Overhead Kiss. Overhead Kiss is a running command grab with strike and vol and throw and vol on at the end of it. You can really mix people up with that kind of stuff. Like I said, she's got really big sweeping moves, and she also has some moves that help control space as well. Not just those dolphins, but she has like a hoop that she can place and move things around. Mostly what I would say is a lot of her movement is pretty tricky to deal with. Her charge down up dolphin splash can easily cross up your opponent and cause that kind of stuff. So there's another overhead kiss. That's a good combo there. Didn't quite finish the combo yet though. Oh, nice 5D there by CallMeMatt. So CallMeMatt's playing Slayer, and Slayer is a character that he has a lot of moves that Windyman's the Mei player. Yeah, Windyman plays Mei. But the Slayer has a lot of moves where it's just kind of like just hits right through things. You know, he's got moves that just really are too powerful, like his normal moves. Oh, he's switching to Kai here. Slayer might be a little bit more comfortable with some of the Street Fighter kind of character players, because a lot of his combos deal with links rather than gatlings. Gatlings are when your your normals combo into another normal, which is pretty foreign to like Street Fighter. Street Fighter, you might have like a normal combo into a special, right? Or a normal combo into a super. But in plus our gatlings make it so that normals combo into normals. And you have a hierarchy for the moves and stuff like that as far as it goes. Slayer deals a lot with links, but he's also got some really tricky moves and tricky movement. So he like has pile bunkers and mappa punches where he kind of like moves forward and then moves back and then moves forward, and like recoils and stuff like that. Slayer's pretty fun and pretty degenerate. One great thing about this game is that you can play really, really lame. You can play like oppressive, and it's really like stinky. It sucks to have to fight something like that, but you're doing the same thing to them, you know? Every character has their own tricks that you don't want to be on the receiving end, but you're glad that you're using it against your opponent. But because every single character has those tricks that are just really oppressive, it actually balances the game out really well. So Kai deals more with projectiles than Soul would. Soul's projectile does not have much range at all, but Kai is able to control a lot more space. He's the only character with like a real kind of projectile, besides like Venom, but Venom's is more of a charge type setup and a very different kind of setup. You'll see Kai doing a lot of neutral, trying to control space here. This super is not yeah, there we go. It's very, very plus. You don't want to punish that super. Oh, nice. Oh, he tried to link that again there. You know, what's important, you see people here, especially in the beginner tournaments like this, where they're coming up with just coming up with combos, right? They don't know what works yet, and that's fine. It takes a long time to really get like optimized combos. You don't need optimized combos in this game to start having fun, right? You just find stuff that works and try things out and figure it out. If you come up with your own combo in training mode and you don't really look up the optimized combos, that's fine. You know, learn that, and then learn how to use your character a bit more, and then you can start looking up the optimized combos once you kind of learn something that works well for you. There's plenty of players who even now, you know, like in like top level tournaments and stuff, don't do optimized combos. They do what they think feels right most, and you know, they'll do like 90-95% damage, but they've also changed things up to fit them a bit more. Maybe it knocks down, maybe it does more special meter. Maybe it's just easier for them to do. Maybe they just like that combo and it's just kind of something that's cool. And all of that's fine. You see a lot of that in tournaments for Plus R. We go back to brackets here. That was Windyman and CallMeMatt. Windyman ends up winning 2-0. And we pull up our next game here. Okay, so up next we're gonna have JMZ versus POS Industries. Go ahead and pull up this bracket or the match here. JMZ on the left playing Order Soul, POS Industries on the right with Eno. Getting the best song in the game. Oh, they're doing a button check. They weren't doing a button check before. Well, that's okay. We'll roll with this. I thought they already did a button check. So in this game, sometimes because it's PS3, it tries to do things for you automatically. So like, let's say, for example, you're player 1 and the other person's player 2, and you do your button config, and you realize that one person's controller isn't set up right, like maybe your PS3 or something, or PS4 mode or something. So you actually press the button and you switch which controller port it's going to be. You would think, oh, the person who has controller number 2 is going to have this preset that was controller number 2. But it still could mess that up, so you just got to reset it every time and just keep trying it out. You can't assume with the button config sometimes. Alright, here we go. JMZ is more familiar with Order Soul here. Going for knockdown combos. Order Soul, his focus is different than regular Soul. He goes for the charge meter. You see that right there? So he goes further back, tries to build up his charge, and when he does his charge, his special moves are powered up. And you'll see this here. I don't know if you played, if any of you played Blaze Blue, if you know Tsubaki Yayoi. A lot of her playstyles based on how Order Soul works. It's a little bit different, but it's the same in general theory. Eno here is Eno's the most difficult combo-wise character to use. She's got some really hard technical combos to deal with, so if that's your pick, you want to like really go into the lab and just learn those combos. Eno's the best one for you. You're gonna have more fun with her. Order Soul less so, but he's also a big I wouldn't say he's a gorilla because there aren't really gorillas in this game. But he has a lot of, you know, close range face bashing moves, and a lot of things that beat a lot of the other opponents too, just straight up. His 2D is amazing. His jump H right there, that running that in air punch is amazing. 5H is an amazing button. 5H is the neutral heavy slash. Trying to keep POS Industries locked in the corner there. He's taking the time to charge his meter. What's cool about the Order Soul's charge too is, you know, he's vulnerable while he's charging, right? So while he's charging, you're a little bit scared that somebody else could go in and attack you. Well, he's got a charge burst where if you run up too close, he is invincible and he just lets go of all this energy, and it hurts the person who's trying to attack him too. So it's actually pretty safe unless you're dealing with a projectile, and even then you can eat the projectile with the burst. We've got JMZ getting the first round here.
Heaven or hell? Duel. One. Let's rock.
The POS Industries taking the time to look up a special move. You know, that's totally fine if they want to do that before they start just learning some of these characters. You know, we're trying to encourage more people to get into this game at our scenes, so that's good. They're gonna go ahead and just start here, I guess. And JMZ has the advantage when it comes to length of time played, so I think he's letting him kind of get some breathing room there and learn a little bit more from his character. Knockdown into charge, very classic Order Soul move to do. Heavy slash counter hit there. Ooh, that's gonna stun. That's gonna hurt a lot. Now this game does have instant kills, unlike a certain 2020. But Order Soul cannot instant kill unless it's part of like a brutality kind of fatality move from Mortal Kombat, part of a special. And if the special would kill, then it counts as an instant kill. There we go. Nice setup there by JMZ. Now, this game has counter hits, and I mean, counter hits are a little bit more commonplace nowadays. But back in the day, you know, they weren't all that common. You didn't really see them in too many fighting games. Counter hits make it so if you're in the middle of attacking, like you're in an animation where you're throwing something out, you actually get hurt more. It's harder for you to recover after being hit like that. So yeah, you can actually get more combos and stuff like that on a counter hit than you would on a normal hit. But that's gonna be it. JMZ ends up taking this one 2-0. Let's go back to our brackets here. We'll take a look at that and get everything updated. Alright, so in this bracket we had JMZ and POS Industries. JMZ wins 2-0. And our next match is going to probably be Weatherbee and Bex, but we'll find us out here. So 2020 should bring... Yeah, oh yeah, so they actually announced... People asked if there were going to be instant kills in Guilty Gear 2020, and they said they have no plans for instant kills at this time. Something like that. Like, they're not in the game. Nothing to show you. So who knows if they actually will have instant kills or anything sort of similar, but they did say instant kills weren't going to happen. Here, yeah, counter hit staggers. That's true. Yeah, like astrals. Yeah, more like fatalities. That makes sense. We'll see. We'll see how it works out. I can't imagine them getting rid of it. It is a very spectator kind of sport thing that's going on. In a fighting game like that, you want to have something that's going to be super flash, like, oh, they did this, you know? So you want to have something like that in there. Something really rare but really flashy in there. So this is going to be, I didn't write the names down. Hold on. The pause this here. Okay, so right now we got Weatherbee and Bex. Okay, Weatherbee going straight into a key grab. So, for those of you interested in maybe checking out Abba, Abba is a character who, she changes back and forth between different playstyles. So, you can imagine that she kind of like installs and then she has to return back to that mode. So she starts off as pretty much the worst character in the game, and then ends up switching to practically the best, and then definitely the best, and then back down to normal kind of thing with just the worst character. So the point is trying to mix back and forth, having to juggle those two different play styles. So this right here is her upgraded mode. She does a ton of damage. She has some really cool cancel moves. She's got some awesome combos. She's got great movement. But then as soon as she switches back, she's got terrible movement, no combos, just like single hits, and is very vulnerable, stuff like that. So she has to kind of move back and forth. Your goal when you're fighting Abba is to prevent her from ever changing modes, because once she changes modes, it's a much more uphill battle. Weatherbee wins the first game here. Again, you tend to see more players starting off picking Soul when they picked, you know, it's because Soul has a DP and he's got a projectile, but it's not really a normal projectile. But he does have a solid DP. Right, so I mean, Abba's critical flaw is that you see that she has this meter above her health. Once that meter runs out, she forces herself back to the previous mode, and that forcing is like 1 second of vulnerability, so you get a free combo. Of course, Guilty Gear, you don't just have free combos in Guilty Gear, you have instant kills that exist. So if you set things right, you can instant kill her. There was a really close chance where I almost instant killed Skeletal Minion when we were fighting, where I knocked him down, Roman canceled, went into instant kill mode, and he did a burst, because burst prevents you from waking up, and it's the wake up that actually gets rid of your meter. So I didn't quite get it. I forgot he was able to burst out of it. That would have been really cool if I was able to get that. So Weatherbee's your basic game plan, which is pretty much every ABBA's game plan, is to first off not get knocked down too much. Because when you get knocked down, you lose a lot of your meter. But you switch from normal mode into Maroha mode, and then while you're in Maroha mode, you get 50% of your meter. And then once you've got that 50% meter, you can go into Goku Maroha mode, which resets your meter and turns you into like absolutely the best character in the game during that install. And then you want to switch out before you're dead. Her upgraded ability here in Maroha mode actually takes damage away from you. You'll see her health going down as well while she's dealing these combos. But once she goes into a Goku Maroha mode, or she transforms back out without being forced out, she regains that health. There you go. Is that going to kill? Good kill there from Weatherbee. So it's 2-0 from Weatherbee to Bex. Let's go back to our brackets here. We'll go ahead and update this. So Weatherbee ended up winning against Bex 2-0 here. Let's find out who we got going on next. You know, it's Weatherbee has a lot more experience, which makes perfect sense. You know, once you get into the game too, you can really punish ABBA for doing some of the moves that she was doing. Who the heck here is playing Biken? Okay, so CallMeMatt was playing Slayer earlier, but he looks like he's probably gonna stick with Kai. And Shodan here is pretty new. I think he's switching over to Biken just to test out Biken. Some of these characters, they're just playing them, kind of figuring them out in the middle of a tournament. Like, oh, this character looks neat, and try a few things out with them. CallMeMatt doing some knockdown combos there, keeping Biken in the corner. Now, Biken's main strength that she's got this unique ability. Oh, hey, thanks for the bits, man. Appreciate it. So, yeah, I definitely want to see how many bits was there. 5 bits. Super awesome. Thanks a lot, Kane. So Biken's unique ability in this game is that she's able to unblock. She can do guard cancels, right? So if you're used to Street Fighter Alpha, they have alpha counters, and a lot of these other fighting games, you know, King of Fighters has like you know, quick evasion and that kind of stuff. She can do all of that, but she can do it for free. So she actually has 4 different special versions that she can do of different guard cancels that she can do without any meter cost. And then she's got one that does cost 25% meter. Now this game, every character already has something like that. It's called a dead angle attack, and you can't. It does very little damage, and it scales very heavily and stuff like that. But hers is different. It doesn't work like that. So if you're trying to learn her, that's kind of a really good ability that she's got that you're able to use. But she also is has a lot less defense than most other characters. So if you're worried about something like that, you know, she's actually not too tough to use beyond the guard cancels too. Like her Tatami Mat is pretty useful as a move, and she's got some good strong buttons as well, some pretty neat moves as well. So she's worth checking out. She's not a beginner could use her pretty well, I think, but you see Shodan here just switching back over to Soul. Like I said, you're going to see a lot more Soul and Kais. People tend to think that they're characters that are easier for you to pick up and learn. I mean, to be fair, they are, because again, you know, if you have a Dragon Punch, you already know how to use it, and you already know how that's used, even if you don't know some of their normals. Is that Sakura, right? That move where she goes to the backstab? Is that one you're talking about? Because I think I remember Rose's alpha counter. Nice setup there. So there's some cool stuff in this game regarding he keeps pressing respect. He probably accidentally didn't set up his buttons right. You know, something you should do check when you're playing this game, because not everybody uses the same button layout, and different joysticks use different button layouts as well. Yeah, and in this game you can't do a button config on character select. You have to do a button config after you've chosen your characters, and you press start, go back to character select, and go again. But it's still really fast to go between the two, so it's not that big of an inconvenience. Let's see here. Oh, she's a full screen combo. That's great. What's great about Street Fighter Alpha, Alpha 2 specifically, is the alpha counters do a ton of damage. Like, it's almost surprising. And they even have like you know, they have different types of wins in there, right? So if you have like a lasso for a throw, and you've got like a cheese, like a wedge of cheese if you win because from chip damage. Well, there's one too for alpha counters. So if you kill with an alpha counter, it has a specific symbol too. Kind of neat because there's actually games nowadays that force it so that alpha counters cannot kill. Guilty Gear's not like that. It just alpha counters do very little damage. Ooh, that's nice. So CallMeMatt ends up winning this one, 2-0. Let's go back to our brackets here. Bex, I think you're going to be up next if you want to check this one out. That was CallMeMatt and Shodan. CallMeMatt wins this one 2-0. Next one should be Bex versus POS Industries. It might not be because we might have been delayed from Skullgirl stuff, but let's take a look here. What character was POS Industries using? There we go. This is going to be it, yeah. Let's update the names on here. Okay, so now we've got Bex versus POS Industries. There we go. Bex on the left. Again, Ino she's the hardest character to learn in the game. Not because of set play necessarily. Her set play is not too difficult, but all of her combo potential requires a lot of work. So this is a mistake here. He accidentally shows Shadow, which I believe is the reload version of Dust as the color, right? So if you do reload Dust, you're gonna get Shadow version. Yeah, those Alpha 2 alpha counters they do a lot of damage. It's pretty crazy. All right, here we go. Yeah, a lot of fighting games now, the point of guard cancels is more of a get off of me kind of mechanic rather than a way of dealing damage. And in Alpha 2, that's not the case. You could easily go as a kill. Okay, so Bex trying to keep POS in the corner here. Now, Ino's dash is actually a flight, so she hovers forward, kind of like Morrigan in Vampire Savior for Darkstalkers. I think POS isn't aware, but those notes that she puts out, she actually has control over them, so she can make them slower or faster and move them up and down. In this game, air Okezeme is very real. So if you're looking for when to tech, you need to make sure you're teching at a safe position. It's not always best to just tech at the very first frame you possibly could by mashing all your buttons. But if you do, it's a predictable spot, and you're going to get hit as soon as you tech. So it is a game to find out when you can tech during an opponent's combo, or even if you can during a drop combo if they're not going to reset it. POS comes from Skullgirl's play mostly, and Skullgirls there is no air teching. You tech at the exact point always that you're supposed to. So you have to like be ready to just block right away once it happens, or even air throw tech. That was Riot Stomp. Riot Stomp is a go-to move for new players, and is not a great move. If you see Riot Stomp coming at you, just 6P them. You know, press forward and punch, and you will beat them into oblivion, opening them up straight for a combo. But it's hard for people when they're starting also to deal with it, to try and be able to recognize what it is and actually be able to punish it. So you do see a lot of new Soul players doing Riot Stomp just because it works, because they don't the other opponent doesn't know how to deal with it yet. POS Industries again switching to Soul. Like I said, you're gonna see people switching to Soul because it's stuff that they know, right? They know the Dragon Punch, they know that kind of stuff. You know, as a somebody who's trying out Eno, and you've never really seen her moves, you might not know what Stroke the Big Tree is, or how it's used, or anything like that, or her Chemical Love, right? So, but you do know Dragon Punch, so because of that, you're seeing a lot of these people switch over to Soul. Soul's DP is one of the better DPs in the game. It's a main important part of his move list. It also has a follow-up, where you press kick, where you just kind of flutter in the air a little bit. That part right there. So it's not as easy to time on how to punish. And if you wait for them to fall on the ground, you might mess up the punish because of that. And if you jump up and combo them, even if you hit them, sometimes you might not get a more optimal combo because of that. You just assume there's no Johnny, right? Unless you're talking about going to the demo. That's a lot of people are saying. They're assuming like, oh, my character Eddie isn't gonna make it, or Zato 1 isn't gonna make it into Guilty Gear 2020. I mean, Guilty Gear 2020 has certain kind of design decisions that they're going for. What I say is, you know what? The way fighting games work is there's a very first version of every fighting game, and nobody ever likes that version, ever. Like every single version of them, people hate it. I only think of like 2 fighting games where the first, well, two come to mind, but there's where the very first version was a really good version. And even then, some of those have flaws. But the way I see this is it might be more like King of Fighters 12. They have this new tech for this really awesome art style, and they're gonna get it working. But the very first go at it might not be great for the mechanics, but it's going to be a great job for the art style. And then when they switch from King of Fighters 12 to King of Fighters 13, it really is the same engine between both of those. 13 was a much better game. So, you know, support Guilty Gear 2020. See if you like it, see if you don't. But then it might get updated into something much better in the future. And I think it won't if people don't buy Guilty Gear 2020. I always make it a point to try and buy all the fighting games I can, just to support the genre in its existence, because in all rights, this genre should be dead. It was super close to its death knells for a while, and now it really is picking up steam. So I don't want that to happen again. I really want to support fighting games, even if I feel like they're going the wrong direction. At least they're making a fighting game. That's how I see it. $0.10. You know, I haven't checked out the League of Legends fighting game info, but I'm not sure I'm gonna get that. I can just imagine if they go full-on MOBA profit margin style. You know, oh, POS Industries picking this up here, getting 1-1. These Soul Mirror matches really getting them there. We'll see. I mean, I've never really been a netcode person. So we'll see. When it comes to netcode, I've got no real opinion because I'm just not good enough at. I don't do netcode stuff. And that's what I'm saying. It's King of Fighters 12. Oh, nice. See, that's exactly what you want to do to Riot Stomp. You saw him kick him out of it, right? And that was a counter hit, so you actually could have gotten a combo after that too. If you see Riot Stomp, you just tack him right through it. We'll see, because the American fighting games all have netcode B. Oh, nice, doing a dragon install. Let's see if he's actually able to use it. Oh, it's over. Once dragon install is over, you lose all your meter. And it might sound like, oh, that sucks. Why even put it in? But from what I understand, dragon install, you can actually gain a lot of meter while you're in it. And because you gain a lot of meter, they didn't want it to be like a consistent battery, right? Like you go to dragon install, you get 100% meter, and then once you're out of dragon install, you can do dragon install again. That makes sense the way they did it, but they probably could have done a better solution, because at this point, Dragon Install is pretty much a useless super. Same with Justice's Omega Shift. Okay. Both of them just poking it, just looking at this. This Bex is 1 round away from winning this. See, now Soul has a there we go, the command throw, right? In this game, tick throws are very good because a lot of throws, well, normal throws are 1 frame. That throw is not 1 frame. Command grabs aren't 1 frame, but the range on a lot of these throws is pretty wide. So being able to attack and then run up and then throw would be great. Oh, yeah, Kusoru. So Kusoru is a Japanese player who's a legend, an absolute legend. That guy played the dumbest big brain you've ever seen. And it was brilliant. It was beautiful. All of them have full meter here. They probably don't know the super input. I haven't seen either of them do the supers. The force break inputs are much more obvious because it's just mostly the same special move, just with the D button instead. Right stomp. There we go. There's a I remember the first time I saw the that best of Kusaru video, and it was. I don't think I've laughed that hard since. It was so funny watching what he was doing. Like, some of the stuff that he was doing was just, like, completely needlessly using all of his meter with FRCs for very insanely hard combos, just because he knew it'd kill. So he can, you know, sure, I'll do this. What was it? Jump. I think it was, jump D, FRC, D, FRC, D, FRC, D, and it killed. It's like, you're kidding me. Ooh. Yeah, so you see there after Dragon Install, he lost all of his meter, and it says danger. Danger means that you're not getting that meter back, right? Because it's, in this game you have negative penalty. Negative penalty means if you start running away too often, it actually gets rid of your super meter. Really forces aggressive play. You're getting so much meter in this game just from being on offense. So, like, you walk forward and you gain meter. So movement's an important part of gaining meter. Not just getting hit. Like a lot of other fighting games, it's just you get hit and then you gain meter. Alright, there we go. And that is Bex winning this one, 2-1. Good job, Bex, there. Let's go back to our brackets. This was Bex versus POS Industries. Bex wins 2-1. And let's go ahead and pull up our next match here. Alright, so next we got Windyman versus Darkly. Like I said, Darkly is a new player. He's kind of just been watching us and enjoying the local scene, you know, and talking to us a lot. He hasn't really entered anything until this tournament, but he clearly has experience. He's got some good Justice play that was going on. Windyman also is a more of a newer player to our scene, but again, pretty strong player as well. And by the way, the rule is if I ever do another beginner tournament, whoever wins the previous beginner tournament is banned from all beginner tournaments. So they're all fighting to see who gets banned. I probably won't do another beginner tournament like this in a while, though. Oh, good dizzy. So the that dizzy mechanic, you know, if you get it right and you assume it's going to be correct there, you can actually go into instant kill mode and kill somebody out of it. Mei is one of the only characters with a different instant kill input, besides characters that I frankly don't qualify, which would be like Dizzy and Order Soul. Everybody else, it's core circle forward twice with heavy slash. Hers is half circle back forward twice. It's a half circle forward twice. I remember. Hers, it's like a command grab. You gotta be right next to him too when you're doing it. Hey, Darkly trying to keep the distance on May there. Was working out pretty well. May doesn't have the advantage yet. Uses all of her meter going for that super. Nice superior trance, getting a little bit of damage there. Good throw. Now again in this theme, unlike Guilty Gear 2020, throws are one frame. So in order to tech, you have to tech on either the same frame or the next frame. It's a one frame tech. And so throws are, ooh, nice 2H there by Darkly, getting a win. So if you're trying to tech somebody's throw, you gotta be either same frame or next frame. Very precise for throws in this game. So if you see a tournament where people are just teching throws left and right, they are super good at that game. They know exactly what they're doing, and that's very tough to do. So May's 3K is infamous. It's her slide. She's so incredibly low that very few things even hit her. And when you block it, it actually pushes her back a fair amount, so it's even difficult to punish her, unlike a typical amount of slides. Like Slayer's 2D, which is his slide, you can punish that if you block that pretty heavily. But May's, you really got to practice it to know what to do against it. Oh yeah, so yeah, they are not one frame throws in Guilty Gear 2020. They did announce that. You know, prevention of one frame throws makes it so that you're not going to be able to really throw on wake up. Like in this one you can. If anybody does something to you on wake up, you can throw them on wake up, and so you kind of want to be sure you're not too close to them. Like if you're right next to any opponent when they wake up, even if you're doing a meaty, you'll just get thrown while you're waking up. They just throw you out of it. That's a very important part of Guilty Gear. You wanna make sure you give them a little bit of room while you're doing your meaty on them. If you're right in their face, you're just gonna get thrown. Windyman, you see there he's putting some dolphins up. Those dolphins for May can be charged, so while she's holding the button, you'll actually see her level increase above her meter. And that level is how many dolphins are going to come out. So one of the best mechanics that this game, kind of Guilty Gear in general, invented was the faultless defense. So in some other games, like when you're blocking moves, you take chip damage, and you can die from chip damage. Nowadays you can't die from chip damage from a lot of moves. Yeah, I'm not sure why. Not sure I agree with it or disagree with it. Just it's an interesting change that a lot of these fighting games did, that you can't die from chip damage. But in this game, you can die from chip damage, but you can also prevent chip damage from existing with the faultless defense. So the faultless defense uses a little bit of your meter as you're using it, so it slightly drains it. And also, it pushes your opponent back a little bit too. So if you're on the verge of death and you've got meter, you're not dead just because the opponent's doing some heavy super against you. Just block it with faultless defense, and you'll be safe. And because of that, it's actually pretty fair if you compare that to, like, if you're concerned about dying from chip, this is kind of a good option for you. You always want to make sure you have meter, and then also you want to make sure that you're able to block it. It also lets you block unblockable overhead or air-to-ground moves too. Like if you're in the air and your opponent does like an anti-air or something like that normally would be unblockable, you faultless defend it, it will become blockable. Another thing Guilty Gear 2020 is apparently getting rid of, ground-to-air unblockable moves. So we'll see how that one ends up working out for them. But Windyman ended up winning this one 2-0. Let's go back to our brackets. It's Windyman versus Darkly 2-0. Okay, let's see what we got going on next here. Okay, up now we've got Bex versus Darkly. Bex looks like Bex got a win so far, so he's so far 1-1. Whoever wins this, they're both on the loser side. They gotta get out here. It's so, I mean, I don't understand really the concept of it, of, you know, no chip death. It's something that, you know, Melty Blood did it. There might have been some fighting games that did it beforehand. Melty Blood's just a big one that comes to mind. But it feels like every fighting game, they're trying to do that now. Street Fighter V was doing it. It's so weird for Street Fighter V to have it so that chip does not kill, you know, for a Street Fighter game. Under Night In-Birth I can get, because Under Night In-Birth, you know, is not exactly a derivative from Melty, but it's made by the same team, and that's what they like, so I get that. It doesn't really seem like it fits in Guilty Gear, since Faultless Defense exists in the game in general, you know? A lot of other fighting games are doing that too. It kind of feels weird. So Darkly is able to set some stuff up here. He's able to put a little bit more room on it. It's counter hit there. Bex doesn't know too much of the combos in the game yet, but you know, he's learning. There we go. There, nice, very nice. That's exactly what you want to do. And then you can do a Sidewinder after that to do more damage. Sidewinder is his Air Force Break mode. If you can do the Sidewinder right on them in the air too, you get a clean hit, and then you can just bounce them back again and do even more damage. That's a really good option for him. He's got some really strong air combos if you can do them right. We've actually been getting quite an increase on players who've been joining the Plus R Discord since the Guilty Gear 2020 mechanics announcement, oddly enough. You'd think maybe there's more like Rev 2 players or something like that, but it's so odd that we've been getting more Plus R players specifically. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, Plus R is a more complicated game than Rev 2. And that's kind of one of its strengths, why like so many people who play Plus R like Plus R, because of its complexity and its depth. It's true. That's very true too. Plus R at this point that I'm on stream right now is $3, and Rev 2 is probably $40. So that could be very, very true about an option of what's going on. But also, most of the people who've been joining the Plus R Discord have been talking about it. I've really been interested in learning some of the more detailed stuff too. So they've been interested in like, oh, this looks cool. Oh, this is hard. Oh, that's fine. I'll learn it. That sounds fun, you know? Like the kind of players who hear that Eno has the most difficult combos and they just get interested like, ooh, that makes me want to play Eno even more. You know, those are the kind of players you get who start playing Plus R. Definitely not a Serlin-inspired fighting game. Johnny's pretty on Plus R, I must admit. Oh, nice Sidewinder. See, that was a clean hit, too. So he could have jumped up and done another clean hit there, too. Just keep jumping up and doing those Sidewinder loops. There we go. Darkly ends up winning one game here. Yeah, like you were saying with the Justice bombs, they're not easy to learn. It seems like when you're on the receiving end of Justice's bombs, it seems like, oh yeah, whatever, this is some brain-dead mechanic. I have to try and, you know, climb through all of this whole gauntlet just to get to Justice. But it's not simple to do, because you have to negative edge every single bomb that's out there. So when you see a Justice with 3 or 4 bombs out there, all simultaneously, that player's holding each one of those buttons, waiting for you to hit it, and then when you're close to it, they'll explode that one, and then let's say you're gonna go to another bomb, they'll explode that one, and then they'll explode the next one, and then they'll explode the next one, you know? So they have to know what links to what, and exactly when they're gonna let go of each individual button, and they're holding all those too. So while a Justice has those 4 bombs out, they can't press anything but like D, unless they were holding D as well. But there's problems with that too. I don't know all the details, but I know that sometimes they can't hold every button for certain reasons. You can't hold every button? Okay. Box. I'm not sure if that's why. But yeah. I mean, I don't know. I would think that if you're holding back and you're holding, you know, 2 buttons, maybe you're getting a flawless defense or something like that, right? So I don't know how that works with the Justice bombs. Yeah, this is the beginner tournament that we had from Game Realms last weekend. And again, Darkly's taking it so far against Bex, but Bex did just get a new round. Bex is using his abilities he knows from other fighting games and carrying them over here onto Soul. So like I said, Soul has a lot of basic mechanics, but really the only real basic mechanic is Dragon Punch. If you're familiar with Dragon Punch and other fighting games, you can carry that over. Alright, Bex ends up winning a game here. Bex was in this chat talking about how much he sucked and was going to lose, but he's already here winning 1-1 on the this match. If he ends up winning, he's going to get top 4. Darkly is he shows up to our Game Realms tournaments, but he hasn't really entered anything until this tournament. So we'll see if maybe he starts entering some more. That's my whole plan with this this beginner tournament, was to just get people interested in it without just getting bopped by Mike Z or Wing Zero or DQRF round 1, you know, and then bopped by the next person in round 2. This is an opportunity for them to actually play the game, get some experience in it, see how well they can do, and actually, you know, among their peers instead of just all the other people. And to be fair, usually I do seed Mike, so Mike often gets a bye. And for good reason, he often wins our tournaments, so he should get a bye. The buys help you guys out more than it helps him, to be honest. The privilege of getting bopped by Race. Oh, nice. So Justice has everybody's dust attack, you know, launches the opponent up, and you can do a dust combo on them. But some characters' dust attack animations are so jank looking, like they should not be an overhead. Like Justice's, it's these spikes that come out from the ground and hit you from below, and that's an overhead. Or like same thing with Testaments. It's these like bloody hands that come from the ground. It's like, how is that an overhead? Yeah. Testament has a couple other moves like that too. His, what's it, 6P? Where he has his scythe, and you see him actually go like this, like the head of the scythe is here. So when you're seeing it, it looks like the edge is up at the top, and it ends up looking like it should be a low instead of an overhead. What's great about Testament's or Justice's 6P is it hits twice, right? So you've got, but it doesn't always hit twice. If you're from above, like hitting him from the top, it actually hits him once and it hits back down. Did Bex just win that? Holy cow! Good job there, Bex, getting 2-1. So before we show the next one here, let's go back to our brackets here. Bex was talking about how much he was sucking. Come on, man. You ended up winning this, getting in the top 4. Pretty good job there. This next one's probably going to be Weatherbee versus JMZ. Let's figure this out here, and I'll update everything. Okay, up next, we've got JMZ and Weatherbee. Weatherbee playing ABBA. Round start 6H from ABBA, the classic. Not the greatest move, but round start 6H causes a lot of dust. Or a lot of dizzy. No, Tron, you don't need to teach any of these Justice players tricks. Let them be. Let them be. We don't need more good Justice players. Good burst there, setting him back up the corner. That was a good knockdown. A lot of times when you're dealing with ABBA, you want to go for a knockdown rather than high damage combos, because the knockdown will reset that meter. And if you end up forcing them out of their mode, then they actually lose all that health that they were dealing to you. So it actually does a lot more damage at the end. So that was a good start up there, going into Goku Muroha mode. Weatherbee still has 50% meter to work with. You can see him gaining a ton of meter from all these attacks. In this game, meter gain is called tension pulse. It's well, there's like an acceleration rate. Like so you gain meter at a certain rate, and that's determined by your tension pulse. So you don't just gain like, you know, X points for walking forward. You gain X points times your rate. And the more aggressive you are, the more your tension pulse is going to be going up. So as you're keeping that momentum, you're making sure you're moving forward. You can see that Weatherbee's tension bar is actually flashing pretty quickly. And the rate at which it's flashing is going to be giving you more meter as you do things that give you more meter. So something for you to look for. Good counter hit there. Couldn't quite seal the deal with the rest of that combo. Going into Goku Muroha mode. Oh, Danzai. Weatherbee getting knocked down. This. Oh, he could have killed. I don't think he was aware of exactly how Apple works here. But forced out, could have gotten a free combo there. Seems he's just about to win this. Letting Abba transform, but she's got no health. She just needs one punch. Oh no! Burst! Oh no. Come on. 1-1 on the round there. That's a very close round, yes. Oh, that was a bad burst there. Very California. Oh, went right through the Danzai. Man, that's some hitbox gaps right there. Combos into Goku Muroha. JMZ throws in the corner, doing a throw combo here. Now in this game, throws end up scaling 50% for the rest of the damage that you deal there, so it's not always a good option to burst a throw combo, because they're going to be a lot less damage than typical. Weatherbee's meter just running out for his Goku Muroha mode. This could kill if Weatherbee's able to do the combo, but no, ends up dropping it. Goes out of the mode just to get his meter back. He still has one blood pack, so he can transform into Muroha mode without having to do the command grab that Abba has. Good avoidance. Oh, but gets thrown right out of it. Oh, not quite able to work with that. Ends up winning with a solid 6H. Weatherbee taking one game here so far. So obviously normal Abba has very, very poor movement, but she does have a force break that just lets her go through things. So it's kind of like Amelia's roll, but it just costs 25% meter to do. But what you want to use that for is, let's say somebody does a projectile, you do that move, which is called force break avoidance. You use force break avoidance to get through it, and then you can do a command grab, which lets you switch into the next mode there. So Weatherbee really putting on the pressure, keeping up in this mode here. He's going to want to switch pretty soon. There we go. You can combo into that mode, and it also is a really great startup for that super. You can use it to start combos. You can use it to like hit people out of things, and it's not a very clear hitbox for how far away it goes. It's just like an aura that hits you around her. Abba does have very low health here, and it's going to do even less. Look at this. She's now at 1 hit point. So you can't kill yourself with the double edge damage from there, but you can bring yourself down to 1 hit point. That's pretty much the case for all self-inflicted damage in this game. Like naturally self-inflicting. So like Faust bombs will still kill you as Faust, but for example, Robo-Kai overheat will not kill you. Even if you're only at 1 hit point and you do Robo-Kai overheat, it still won't kill you. Oh, nice counter hit. Oh, could have kept going there a little bit, I think. Ends up dropping it a little bit there. JMZ doing a throw combo. Gonna try and set some stuff up here. Ooh, Danzai eats through things. Danzai's super armor is very strong. Oh, that's gonna kill. Oh, not quite. Just barely didn't kill there. Good. If Weatherbee had transformed back out, he would have gotten a lot more health. That makes it even 1-1 here. Let's find out who's gonna win. Land some footsies here. Weatherbee still has 3 blood packs, so was able to transform from a command grab earlier on. That throw is going to make him almost out of meter. He's trying to get that 50% meter before he runs out. Switch over to Goku now. Come on. Oh, wasn't able to do it. Oh, very bad burst there. You know, a lot of people, they have difficulty with bursts as a concept. Because burst, what it does is it breaks you out of your opponent's combo, right? You can do a burst at any point, unless it's like a super animation. However, burst will delay itself a little bit, so it's not going to activate during the hit pause that happens between stuff. There's a block stop and a block stun. It won't happen during a hit stop and a hit stun. So it won't really happen during the hit stop. It'll happen as soon as that's done. But then also it makes you fly up higher in the air than you originally were. So if it looks right, then it's going to end up messing things up too. So you can see it where like you burst, and then afterwards you're like, what? Why did I do that? That was so dumb. It didn't make sense. But you actually burst a lot higher than you originally are, and sometimes things shift around during that hit stop. So it does take some timing to get used to bursting correctly. Bursting is also a pretty new mechanic in fighting games. I don't think Guilty Gear exactly started it, but that's the one again that I remember the first time I saw burst was in Guilty Gear. Bursting is in a couple of other... Oh, nice throw tech there. Well, yeah, you have combo breakers, but combo breakers are different than bursting from Killer Instinct. Because combo breakers, you have to actually know exactly which type of attack they're doing and stuff like that. I would say combo breakers work more like Dead or Alive holds, right? Because you're using a hold during a specific like attack type, even in the middle of combos, as long as you're on the ground. But Killer Instincts are more you're doing it against a specific attack type. So JMZ ends up winning this one 2-1. Let's go back to our brackets here. Update this. That was JMZ and Weatherbee. JMZ wins this 2-1. Next up, we're going to have Weatherbee and CallMeMatt. Let's just go ahead and update the information on here. Here we go. This is a loser side match. Whoever loses is out. But whoever makes it's going to go to top 4. So you see how this one works here. Speaking of Killer Instinct, by the way, I really, really like Killer Instinct 2014. The newer Killer Instinct. I love that game. Very, very, very well made. I love all the concepts of it. It was just a shame that it was only on Xbox One, because that really held it back. I totally understand why, because it's a Microsoft property. But once it was released on Steam, like I started playing that game a lot more. That game is really good. Nice throw right on round start. That's something you gotta be aware of too for ABBA. She's gonna do a throw on round start, or the key command grab, or a 6H. Or she's just not gonna do either of those and block. Or backdash or something like that. Yeah. Nice hits there, going straight into Goku Roha. That's not going to combo. It's knocked a little too far away for that. Nice hits there. That should kill. There we go. Good. That's her Rekka. So she has a like a predetermined combo that's all part of special moves. When I think of Rekkas in fighting game, I think of like the same move being input 3 times in a row. But really, it's more of a a predetermined combo, more like a target combo that's all been pre-designed. But they're all special moves, so we still call them Rekkas, even though if it's not the same exact move over and over. Oh, that almost was anti-aired. Kai's, one of his biggest strengths is his 6P, which is, you know, the forward punch. It's a really great anti-air, one of the best in the game. You see somebody jumping in on you, and bam, you've got him, and you can counter hit him, and you can do a big combo after that too. It's a very strong anti-air for Kai. Something you really gotta be wary about. Yeah, there you go. More like King of Fighters Rekkas. There's a lot of kind of archetypes that you see in certain fighting games that I don't really feel like they have a name. So like there's the characters that move back and forth between different fighting types. So like not like Gen, I don't mean like that. I mean like they'll do a starter and then they'll do like 3 different links and then they'll do a finisher. Something like Angel or I think Momoko in King of Fighters 11. So like they'll do stuff like that. That's kind of very unique kind of concept. So those exist, and then they've got characters that move back and forth between, like they'll do an attack and then switch to a special, and then that special cancels into attack, and that attack cancels into a special. Like Vanessa in King of Fighters, where you've got like everything's linked to her dashes, which links to a special, which links back to her dashes. Back to the game here. CallMeMatt able to get a round off on Weatherbee here. Good job so far. Might be able to seal the deal on this too. Ooh, that's a nice hit there. That's going to be a good counter hit. Trying to Vapor Thrust. Vapor Thrust is Kai's Dragon Punch. It's not great. Not the worst DP in the game, but pretty bad overall. There we go. That was what I was talking about with the weird hitbox for Goku Roha. It's a DP. We'll say that. It's got gaps for a DP. It's definitely not Soul's DP, but it is a DP. Oh, Weatherbee able to block the overhead, winning against CallMeMatt 2-0. Back to our brackets here. So we had Weatherbee and CallMeMatt here. Weatherbee ended up winning against CallMeMatt 2-0. And now we've got, let's see here, which one is this? Okay, up now, we've got our winner side match. This is going to be JMZ versus Windyman. Again, whoever wins this tournament gets banned. So they're all fighting to see who can get banned for this tournament. Banned for the next beginners if we ever run another beginners tournament. This is winner side, so both of these are our strongest players so far. And it will be 3 out of 5. I think a lot of characters in training mode actually have some certain options. It's like you might be able to put her in that mode and then, yeah, or set her up in that mode and restarts and stuff like that. Because there are certain special options. Well, that was a good counter hit, but Windyman wasn't able to get a confirm off that. Same thing, you know, he just wasn't able to do the confirm. Probably something he's going to test out in training mode after this. Nice overhead kiss. Into a super? Oh no. Oh, and he Roman cancels it, but wasn't able to follow up. He probably thought that the super wouldn't have hit. Oh, that was a bad burst. Ooh, just barely missed the overhead kiss there from Windyman. That's gonna kill right there. So this stage has that dog that walks in the background with the coat on. And it has a glitch that appears every now and then on this stage where the dog starts doing a moonwalk. So we'll see if we can find that on here. Oh, both of them blocking. Windyman setting up in the corner. Good burst. Keeps going for those 3Ks. Windyman loves those 3Ks. He loves overhead kiss. So in this game, overhead kiss is, like I said, it's that move that you can run up throw. So it's also strike invul and throw invul when it reaches you. So if you're concerned about it and you're trying to beat it and you're trying to find out what it is, it actually looks just like a run. So if your opponent's running at you or they're doing an overhead kiss, it's going to look the same. There's a slight sound difference if you're able to hear it. The amount and pace of footsteps is slightly different. Other than that, that's really the only indicator. But since it's a special move, you'll see some players, they'll cancel normals into a run. And normally you can't cancel normals into a run. It's just not possible. So if you see them canceling a normal into a run, they're canceling into overhead kiss, because that's a special move. You can cancel special moves. You see them cancel some random normal into a run, jump. Don't try and challenge overhead kiss. It won't work unless you're using a move that's throw invul. Good air throw there by JMZ. Air throws are so cool in this game. They're such an important mechanic too. If you're having a hard time learning air throws, typically the position you want to be is just below your opponent. It's like they're up here and you're coming up from over here and you're going to grab them like that. It's a lot harder for an opponent when they're up in the air grabbing somebody who's lower. It doesn't work as well. Oh man, what a mix-up right there. That was very close. The DP but went through the low there. Windyman is one round away from going into grand finals. 3K again. If you don't know how to punish 3K, it's not obvious because she's gonna still stay low afterwards, right? Unless she meated you with 3K, which is different because it has a very long active window when it starts off. Nice DP into FRC into a... Wow, that was a very good setup right there. Very awesome stuff there from JMZ. Trying to get out. Oh, it looked like he was going to Dragon Punch, but it didn't quite work out. Windyman just trying to keep that distance, using May's range to his advantage. Nice setup there. Worked by JMZ there. Well, that looked like it was a tick throw, but it didn't quite work out because he did 6H. Both of them very low on health here. Oh. No, that's going to kill. It's going to kill. He's going to do a super. Oh, no. Oh, that crossed up. May's very strong at cross-ups. Oh, so this is 3 out of 5, so Windyman wins one more here. I was thinking it was 2 out of 3.
Heaven or hell? Duel. Rock.
See, that was another cross-up there. May's cross-ups are insane when it comes to those dolphin loops. James, you're just trying to get a foothold here. Nice 6H. Got thrown right there from the ground. That's one thing you're going to see a lot of throw techs towards more often. If somebody's coming from the air and then they land. Because both, the person lands on a specific frame, right? And once you land, that's when you can throw. So if you wait there and both of them throw on the very first frame they possibly can once the character lands, you're going to see more throw techs happen around that time. It's a very predictable frame. So the trick is, if that's what your opponent's going for, jump up and throw them. They'll be shocked. They're coming down from the air, and you jump up and throw them. Don't let them fall for that. That's what I was talking about right there. 6H canceled into a special move. So that special move was overhead kiss, which looks like a run. So you see 6H cancel into a run, that's overhead kiss, jump away from it. Good 6H into Roman cancel, wasn't able to convert too much off of it. There we go, nice jump. Oh, it's getting a little too close on wake up. That's what I was talking about. One frame throws are so important in this game. If you're too close and wake up, you're right on their face, they'll just throw you. Nice, nice work. Oh, didn't quite get hit with the 6H. Woke up just at the right timing. Now in this game, if you're trying to time your meanies and you're getting used to it, different characters actually have different wake up times. So it is something you have to keep in mind if you're trying to time things like frame perfect. You gotta test it out for every character because they all got different wake up times. 3 of the characters here actually have delayed wake ups. Sorry, 2 characters have delayed wake ups. That'd be Bridget and Robokai. So those characters you gotta be a little bit more aware of about what they can do and when they can do it, but the other characters all have specific wake up timing. So it's Windyman and JMZ. Windyman ends up winning that one 3-0, so he's going to go into winners finals here. Let's go to our losers semifinals between Weatherbee and Bex. Give me a moment to update all the bracket info here. Okay, so this one wasn't started right at the start. It was missed just a couple seconds, so we'll go ahead and just start it where it's at. Starting it with a DP from Bex. This one is just 2 out of 3. You can see the AB is already in Maroha mode, but the meter's almost out. Weatherbee's going to want to transform before... There we go. And that's going to hit, because that hitbox is really unique. A big, wide, invisible hitbox for when she transforms. You missed for 6H, try 6H again. The interesting thing with 6H, especially on round start, because they're in a good position for it, is it'll bounce them back and actually sets them up perfectly for you to hit with her command grab. Solid burst there from Bex. She gets her meter or her health back there. Good FRC. You know, it just goes to show. You know, I don't think he's really been training too much with Soul. It was. I saw Bex play more, what was that character? He was playing with Soul too much. But there we go, he ends up doing an FRC point, so good job there from Bex. Weatherbee wins 1 game. Was it Bigen? Yeah, okay. So being able to do FRC points with a secondary character is pretty good. Round start avoidance. Good blocks there from Bex. You know, the Abba's command grab that changes her modes, it's both a command grab and a strike. So if you're really close, it's unblockable. If you're not really close, it's just an attack, but if you get hit by that attack, then she actually ends up being transformed. So that's good for things like on the ground hits. You know, you combo them, you can combo into that move where it'll still hit them because it counts as a strike as well. So oh, good burst there. You know, you noticed if Weatherbee didn't burst, he wouldn't have been gaining any of this health back and all that kind of stuff that you had right there. So good thing there from Weatherbee. Let's double jump over the gunplane. Bex does have full meter. Let's see if he can use any of it. Alright, he was able to die. Unfortunately, he died there. So Weatherbee, last point here. If Weatherbee wins, he's going to go over to losers finals. Good knockback there. Try to go for that DP. You know, the Donzai is it's safe to hit once the second hit connects, so you can go ahead and do more stuff after that. Oop. Good hits there. Run up throw. That was a tick throw. Good job there from Weatherbee. Some good combos in the corner there, and that'll be it. Weatherbee ends up winning against Bex 2-0. Go back to our brackets here. We'll update this, and we'll go on to the next character. Those Weatherbee and Bex. Weatherbee wins 2-0. Next game's clearly going to be Weatherbee and JMZ, but give me a moment here to update the bracket info. All right, here we go. JMZ and Weatherbee now. This is losers final, so it's 3 out of 5. We'll see how this is going to turn out here. I think they both fought each other earlier on, and JMZ ended up winning. Yeah, on our brackets here we have round 2 winner side. JMZ won against Weatherbee 2-1. So this is a comeback. The losers finals double jeopardy. Whoever wins is going to have to fight Windyman.
Heaven or hell. 2, 1, let's rock.
Right, use the blood pack right away. Gets that meter going straight into Moroha mode. It's going to really help out. Goes hits with Danzai. It wasn't a counter hit, wasn't able to combo. Good weight on that burst there from Weatherbee. Good self-awareness. James, he's trying to figure out some moves to see what he can do to get out of this corner here. Nice start up there, going into Goku Moroha mode, being very oppressive with Abba. James, he's doing some solid blocking, but his guard meter is getting cranked up there. For those of you not familiar with guard meter, just like Risk in Xrd, what it ends up doing, transfer out, no, terrible. Guard meter ends up, once it's too large, it ends up thinking all your hits are going to be counter hits, and also it doesn't start scaling until it reaches back to the middle, and then your damage starts actually getting scaled. The guard meter. Good hits there. First round goes to Weatherbee. Starting with a 6H. Hey, it works sometimes, right? It uses a blood pack to switch modes here. Now, for those of you interested in learning ABBA, I'm actually having a skeletal minion, Kumite. The video footage is actually coming up tomorrow. I did the Twitch stream for it already. But if you take a look at my YouTube channel, it'll be up tomorrow. Good setup there. I'm gonna Goku Moroha mode. Goku Moroha is so strong. Look at that Danzai. Here. Could have killed, jumped up, but waiting. Maybe he didn't know he could have done more of a combo there, especially with 100% meter here, like that. You know, the Roman cancel awareness in this game is very important. We're just knowing when you can Roman cancel and what. Like, you can just add, oh, well, they're almost dead, so why don't I just Roman cancel his move and add some random combo at the end that I don't normally do, and it's gonna work, right? Not easy to get your mind to wrap around something like that, but once you do, it's gonna help you out a lot. You can seal the deal a lot more. Abba at half meter here. Now, a lot of people forget, too, that Abba's meter is also her health. If her health's running too low, you want to switch back out no matter what your Abba timer is at. Because otherwise you won't regain that meter. Good burst. Again, that burst saved Abba some Moroha meter there. Because you lose about a 30 your Moroha meter when you wake up. Good jump H there. Using a blood pack right around start here. Being very oppressive with Moroha mode, trying to get in. Oh, nice, a nice cross up there. Getting Jamesy stuck in the corner, switching to Goku Moroha mode. Ends up dropping the Rekka. The Rekka start, I should say. Does have flashing guard bars. Could hurt if he gets hit. There we go, counter hit. Setups here. That was some good damage close. You know, could have even sealed the deal a little bit there. And ran out of meter. You got to be aware of your meter when you're doing this here with Abba, because that could cost you the game. You know, Weatherbee was winning the whole time through and ended up not mismanaging his meter, and therefore he lost the round. Very important with Abba. Abba's a very technical character, but she's also really cool to play as when you're in Moroha mode. There we go. So that was a wiggle setup. So in this game, there's some moves that cause a slip. Slip would be like you see this like wiggling icon, and if you wiggle fast enough, you'll break out. And some combos you actually can wiggle out if you do it fast enough. And if you do, this game actually does not count them as black beat combos. If you don't wiggle out at all, it's just a black beat combo. So it's 2-0 for Weatherbee. This is 3 out of 5. So wiggle out of your slips, guys. You don't wiggle out of your slips, you're giving your opponent free meter. Just because look doesn't show that it's black beat doesn't mean it's actually not black beat. It's most especially noticeable against Axel, because Axel's got some really stupid slip recycle moves. Other characters to have it, Dizzy has, or not Dizzy, Slayer. Slayer has a good slip recycle move as well. Just keep doing it over and over until they break out. Nice counter hit. Could lead to more. Goes in Goku Raha mode. Sorry about that. Oh, nice air throw by JMZ. Goes for the overhead, ends up missing. Oh, that's gonna miss. Oh no, that was an accidental instant kill activation. Man, that's... You know what? It always feels weird challenging supers when they're facing the wrong direction. Because they probably have an afterburner hitbox, right? Something that just pokes out a little bit too far behind them. And then you get hit by the supers if you're in the front. No, it's a little risky. I've had that point happen before too, where I went around a Dizzy player when she was doing her level 100 move, you know, Gamma Ray. And I was like, do I want to hit her out of this? Or am I going to get hit by Gamma Ray from the other side? So, and with Gamma Ray, she knocks herself back from the ground, from the edge too, so you can't just straight punish her. This is going to be cool. Oh! Able to slip out? We're going to be at one more round here, and Weatherbee will take the losers finals. Hits there. Banzai is going to eat that damage and go straight into super armor. Nice mix up there. Oh, good 2D there. Abba's sweep is such a powerful move. It's got so much range going on it. From the Murohan version. This could kill it. Weatherbee's able to do it. Oh, misses a little bit on the Rekka. Got meter though. Easily use that meter. Gotta use his blood pack soon. There we go. It's a ton of health back. That 6H ends it. That's it for Weatherbee, 3-0. Got one game left here, grand finals.
Please select your character.
Go back to our brackets here. You'll see we had Weatherbee and JMZ, and that one was 3-0 for Weatherbee. The last game's grand finals, it's going to be Windyman versus Weatherbee. Give me a moment to load this up here, and we'll get things started. Alright, Windyman versus Weatherbee. This is grand finals here. We have Weatherbee from loser side. Weatherbee has to win 3 and then win another 3 for a reset. Weatherbee went for a burst right on the very first knockdown. Again, that burst is going to save you from waking up, and then the wake up is what kills you for Abba. Almost out of meter here. Not going to be able to get 50% before she runs out, I don't think. Gonna have to use a blood pack. Yep. I had to do it. I was lost all that health. Good call. And now Weatherbee's going to try and get another 50% meter here so he can activate Goku Muroha mode. That's pretty common for Abba game plan. Reverse there. Nope. 3K ends up knocking down Weatherbee. Oh! Not a good position. Normal mode. With very low health. That's gonna be it. Whether Windyman takes one round here. Round start 3K. Good throw. Oh, missed the input for the command grab. I think it's half circle back heavy. Very common thing you see there is you go for a knockdown move and then you use the command grab while they're knocked down because it does work. Windyman not taking advantage of the ABBA Maroha wake up. There's so many moves from May seem to knock down. It seems like a very oop. Someone's controller got disconnected there. I remember this. I think they're gonna run with it because Weatherbee was in the middle of a command grab animation. So he's gonna keep going here. There we go. Yep. Okay, so they're continuing here. Weatherbee does have 50% meter, can activate Goku Maroha, but instead decides to just go to normal mode. And that's gonna be the first game. Windyman wins.
Please select your character. Heaven or hell. Duel. Let's rock.
Okay, round start 6H, and May goes for the cross up. Those dolphin cross ups are so hard to deal with. There's a lot of moves in this game that actually have cross up protection, where you can block either direction and it'll cross you up, or it'll prevent a cross up. But that dolphin's not one of them, so it's very difficult to deal with. Just try to keep that pressure, not let him do anything. A little flash on the recording there. BK going down. Nice 6P. Look at that dizzy on the meter there. May really excels at dizzying opponents. When they're really close, you can just press 6P and you'll get further forward on the thing. So what's going on here is there's an issue with the table where somebody plugs in a controller on one side and it ends up doing something on the other side. It ends up turning the monitor off for some reason on this. They kind of just learned about it, so they're going to keep running through it. Going to Goku Maroha mode, see if you can use this. Good hit there. Oh, perfect FRC there from Windyman. Weatherbee wasn't really going to punish, it didn't look like. Goku Maroha mode's almost over. I'll switch back. There you go. But gains a lot of health back. And still has a blood pack. Blood pack's going to be enough to kill. Overhead kiss. Going for the combo afterwards. It's a tough combo to deal with because you have charge partitioning you have to deal with in the middle of the combo. So oftentimes what Windyman will do, just to guarantee damage, is we'll do a whale super after that, because a whale super will connect. Nice jump there against overhead kiss. Overhead kiss, just a really tough move to deal with. Nice throw into micro dash into the command grab. Very cool. Oh, gets knocked out of that mode. Not a good position to be for Weatherbee here. Able to use the key grab. Good blocks there. Ooh, good burst as well. Banzai ends up starting up. Ooh, couldn't quite do more of a combo. You know, combos against May are a lot more difficult than most other characters. Ends up going into Goku Maroha mode. Weatherbee's still at very little health. Could die at any point here if he drops a combo. Kill seals the deal. We 1-1 now.
Please select your character. Heaven or hell. Duel. Let's rock.
Oh, a nice 3K there in the middle of the dolphin. Couldn't get the micro dash. You know, in this game, a lot of people were asking about this too in the Discord. This game has no input buffer. So if you do your input 1 frame too early, it just does not come out. Very precise movements in this game. Nice sweeps again. When you're fighting Abby, you want to go for those sweeps. And she's going to wake up. Ooh, gets hit right with a 6H. Oh, into a stun. Next going to kill. Oh, nice. Did the force break version and kept doing more attacks. Knockdowns and attacks there, going for 6H. Ooh, gets hit by Donzai a little bit there. 3K, setting some stuff up here. Oh, jumps away from the overhead kiss. Good awareness there by Weatherbee. And is able to transform to Goku Moroha, which will give her, give Weatherbee some more health back. Oh, ends up losing it right away. Windyman definitely knows how to fight against Abba when it comes to knocking down. That was a good block from Weatherbee. I wasn't expecting him to be able to block it correctly. A very tough move to block right. Maybe he's seen enough of May shenanigans to get around it, you know? Close game here so far. Really cranking up Windyman's guard bar. Nice. Oh no, come on. Oh, the meter thing. It's their menu. Sorry, their monitor shut off a little bit there. Very tragic. Nice hits there. Goku Moroha mode transform. Doing more stuff here. Is this gonna be it? There we go. That's a kill. Nice use of that that projectile there. Blood splatter. Now 2-1 for Weatherbee. Ooh, able to do avoidance right around the first attack. Use the blood pack to get into Moroha mode. That was that burst there saved Weatherbee 33% of his meter. So a good point there for Weatherbee. Knowing exactly why he's doing that burst. Blocks the 6H overhead. It looks like he wasn't going to. You got a faultless defense moves in the air, otherwise you can get hit from the ground to unblockables. Really working with that 6H there for Windyman. I'm not in a good position at all. And Windyman ends up taking the first game. First round. Going for knockdowns, but again, not in Moroha mode, so not really that important to go for knockdowns in Moroha mode. Or in normal mode. Banzai. Very staple move for Abba. Oh, overhead kiss into a super? No, not quite. He is going for the full combo. Runs out of meter. This is going to be it. There's no way he's going to be able to win this one. That's it. Windyman takes it the next game here, 2-2. One away from either a win or a reset. Let's find out what's going on here. Very close. Ooh, nice solid hit there. Oh, good confirm off of the projectile. 6H. Gonna go for more knockdowns against Abba here. Good Rekka there. It's gonna save him from the dolphin. Goku Roha mode, very strong, very powerful. Gets 2 air dashes too in Goku Roha mode. Setting up Windyman in the corner here. Really gonna watch his health. Oh, ran out just the wrong time. Just try to backdash and get a blood pack out. There you go. Going to regular Moroha mode here. That's gonna be the first round. Box there. Go. Ooh, nice one again there too. Oh, ends up hitting that. Good overhead for the 5D. Really close here. Windyman just about to take this. Sees a little bit more damage and he can seal the deal. Wins a whole tournament with this. Overhead kiss into a super for the whale. Definitely just wanted to confirm that damage. Abba on the brink of death here. Gotta go into Goku Roha mode. Get that health pack. Use a blood pack instead to get that health. Oh, it crosses up. And that's it. That's it right there. Windyman ends up winning this one 3-2. Windyman is now officially banned from beginners tournaments. No longer allowed. No beginners tournaments for you. Let's go back to our brackets here real quick. I see your message there, Mech. You know, I actually have done a ton of work on the Discord server today. Things are a little bit more important than the Twitch streams. It was on my docket. I actually made a plan this morning for exactly what I was going to get done. After what I had, it was going to be Twitch streams, and there was one more thing, one more project I wanted to work on. I'll go over all of that too. We'll probably have Twitch streams up tomorrow, if I have the time and everything for it. I don't have any plans tomorrow. We don't have any sort of streams or tournaments or anything like that, so I'll probably have some time to work on it tomorrow. But in the meantime, we have our tournament here. We just finished Windyman and Weatherbee grand finals. So here's our results. Windyman wins first place, banned from beginners tournament. Weatherbee ends up getting second place. JMZ in third, Bex getting fourth place. We had Darkly 1000 and CallMeMatt in fifth, and then POS Industries and Shodan in seventh. So thanks a lot everybody for showing up. It was really cool having a lot of these characters, these players, we don't really see play at all, right? We don't see POS Industries, Shodan, Darkly 1000, or Bex play at all. So it was really cool having this kind of tournament to see that kind of thing going on. Next time we will have a normal tournament. I don't really plan on doing these beginners tournaments too often. But you know, this was overall, I'd say it was a success because we had 5 people who entered the tournament who would have normally never entered. We'll see how that kind of thing works out. Maybe they'll start picking up the game a little bit more too. So with that, I'll go ahead and see you guys next time. Just a reminder too, I always do streams every Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday. You'll see me then too. Next Thursday we'll do another tournament. This Sunday we're actually going to be doing the team tournament for CEO Otaku. I'll be going over that one too. You'll go ahead and see that. But yeah, y'all have a good night. I'm going to stick on Discord as I'm doing more editing and stuff like that. So I'll see you on there. Everyone else, I'll have a good night. And good night YouTube too. Hey everyone, thanks for watching our SoCal Guilty Gear Plus R tournament. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you're interested in getting into this game, you can check out our Discord server. There's a ton of great players who love to help people learn the game. Put a link in the description for that. If you want to see more Plus R content, you can just subscribe to my channel for updates. I'll leave another tournament in the card here to my left. Also, there's some great Plus R Kumites on my channel. Kumites are great for seeing how a certain character can play. You can check out the Kumite playlist over down here too. Lastly, you can check on my Twitch channel if you want to watch me live. I stream every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday at 9 p.m. Pacific time. Hopefully I'll see you guys there, and have a great night.